Hi everyone, MP Will Greaves here with this week's Weekly Wrap. Split week this week, Ottawa and Victoria, but the thread running through all of it was culture, community, and the people who hold this place together. We started the week at the Khalsa Diwan Society of Victoria for Vaisakhi, celebrating alongside the Sikh community at one of the oldest and most beloved institutions in our city. The Khalsa Diwan has been serving Victoria since 1912. That's over 100 years of community, faith, and service. Being welcomed into that celebration with community members, local leaders, and families from across our region was a real honor. And that's the kind of deep-rooted community that makes this city what it is and makes it such an incredible place for all of us. That same spirit of culture and belonging also showed up at the opening night of Newsies, the musical, put on by students at the Canadian College of Performing Arts, located in Oak Bay. These are the next generation of performers in our region, and if opening night was any indication, the future of the arts right here is in very good hands. We also got a behind-the-scenes tour this past week of YYJ, the Victoria International Airport. Now, I'm kind of a frequent visitor these days, but it's a different experience to see what's happening behind the scenes. Critical infrastructure for our whole region, YYJ has got big plans for the future. And that's exactly the kind of investment in our regional capacity that we need, because it's going to set us up for growth that works for everybody who lives on the South Island. This week, I also signed something called the Common Horizon Pledge, a commitment started by concerned members of our community, which makes me commit not to take lobbyist-initiated meetings with representatives of big fossil fuel and grocery corporations. The people of Victoria have been clear about the values that they want reflected in my office, and this is one way for me to honor that. On the Ottawa side of things, I was in meetings this week with, like usual, lots of different folks, including entrepreneurs and small business owners, officials from Global Affairs Canada, and public service labor unions. I also had the chance to set the record straight at committee this week, and I kept up the weekly calls that I make with constituents, which is always one of the most grounding parts of my work week. For Earth Day this week, my office also co-hosted an event on Parliament Hill highlighting the Youth Climate Corps of BC. This was an opportunity to share with other MPs, senators, and political staffers the groundbreaking climate change adaptation and mitigation work that's already being done by young people in communities across our province. As the federal government moves ahead with launching the new National Youth Climate Corps, there's much that can be learned from our experience of community-based climate work right here in BC. It was a busy week, lots going on, but I will be honest, the highlight from Ottawa might have been the charity basketball tournament for Christie Lake Kids, an organization that opens up sports opportunities for youth in need. Our team was composed of members of Parliament and Hill staffers, and I'm happy to report that we came in first place. More importantly, the event raised over $15,000 for charity. It's pretty hard to beat that. And wrapping up here in Victoria, I spent this weekend at the AVICC AGM. That's the Association of Vancouver Island and Coastal Communities, where I was alongside representatives from municipalities, local governments, regional governments, and provincial cabinet ministers from across Vancouver Island and the Sunshine Coast. These are the people closest to the ground in their communities, and hearing directly from them about what they're seeing and what their needs are, that's exactly how this work is supposed to happen, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to connect with my counterparts from provincial and municipal governments. So whether it's Vaisakhi or a basketball court, a curtain call or a council chamber, what I keep coming back to is that community is something that we build together in 100 different ways. My job is to show up for all of them, and this week, we really did. So that's the wrap for this week. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for staying engaged, and I'll see you all again next week.